Hello Cancer, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at what the current energy is for the sign of Cancer for the week of October 31st. A very happy Halloween to you. We're going to do something a little bit different here. We're just going to start off by getting an overall message. We'll get one card here as the overall message. Do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right. There is the overall message. So for your overall message here for this week, you do have the Page of Swords, okay? So the Page of Swords can say that you're really, you're taking a thoughtful approach to something. You have a high IQ, you have a high intelligence, and that right now you're maybe analytical in nature. You're really using your logic, using your thinking skills. This can also, if this is news, it can represent news of delay, or it can represent an issue around time. Like I see the Page of Swords come in when there are issues around time, in that you have placed a time, you've attached a time value to something, and the time it takes to get from point A to point B might be different than the attached value you've put on said thing. Hopefully that helps. So when you get the Page of Swords, sometimes it's best to detach from time. It can represent disappointing news, but let's see if that's coming in here. So let's go ahead and let's get 3 cards to clarify what's going on for you here in the past. Can we get 3 cards for the past? Okay, so you have the Knight of Wands. Can we get 2 more cards here? Okay, you have the 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. I don't think it's disappointing news. So, all right, in the past, you have the Knight of Wands, you have the 8 of Pentacles, and you have the 7 of Cups here showing up. So, you've really been making strides here in the work that you do, in your career, in building something. And this is clearly showing up here, okay? The 8 of Pentacles is a major energy of talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. And it says that, you have a lot to bring to the table here. As you can see, this person's working away late at night. They're wrapping up their latest creation. Their other creations here hanging up on the ceiling above them. And they have a lot to offer. They have a lot to bring to the table. It can also represent good movement forward or positive developments in your work or in your career. The Knight of Wands is about... this is about, in this case, you know what? In this case, the Knight of Wands, this is about you being a maverick, okay? Knight of Wands is a true maverick, a jack of all trades. You have 2 major talent cards here in the past. You have this here also with the 7 of Cups, which is about potentially being confused. It's also maybe being overwhelmed. It can also say that there's an abundance of choice, an abundance of options. What I think is really going on here is you have an abundance of potentially opportunities. Any page in tarot can represent rewards. Sorry, not rewards. Any page in tarot can represent messages or opportunities or invitations. And so I think you have you have like an abundance of opportunities here because of these skills that you have, these talents that you've accrued here in your life. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's start to clarify. Can we get a clarification on the Knight of Wands? Can we clarify the Knight of Wands here? So you have the 10 of Swords, interesting. So the thing is, if the Knight of Wands is not about being a maverick or being a jack of all trades, the 10 of Wands, if the Knight of Wands is not being about a jack of all trades, it can be about moving, like moving to a new location, changing your zip code. So I do still think that this Knight of Wands is showing up for you in the areas of your talents. But I do think that this might also be showing up as a shift away from something. 10 of Swords is losing, it's sort of like ending something for good. 10 of Swords is ending something for good. It suggests that there's a level of finality with what is ending. It won't come back. That is the idea with the 10 of Swords. And so you might be quite literally like, we'll have to see how this reading develops, but you might be moving to a new location for a new job. Can we clarify the Eight of Cups here? We have 3 cards. So you have the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Cups, and you have the King of Swords. Four of Swords, Five of Cups, and the King of Swords here, showing up to clarify the Eight of Pentacles. I do see that there's some healing that needs to be done with your relationship or your connection to authority or to boss figures or something along these lines. I think some of you feel like you were not recognized for the work or the talent or everything that you've brought to the table here. And I do think that some of you are going to decide to move on from a workplace. Very specific story, but I think, okay, let's see here. Let's take all 4 of these. Okay, so by the way, if you are moving on from a place of employment, it's because you just don't work with your boss. Like the two of you you don't work together. You have the Tower and the Seven of Cups, clarifying the Seven of Cups, as well as the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups. Also, I don't think that the environment that you're in at work is conducive to your growth. And I think that this is a major reason why some of you are moving on. There might be an event here that's overwhelming with the Seven of Cups twice, I would say for sure. In the Tower. Now this is showing up in the past, so this is showing up as having already happened for you, okay? With that Seven of Cups here. So I do think that there was there's some sort of interesting situation here that is showing up with you and work, or you and specifically maybe a colleague, I think maybe your boss. For sure that you are separating from with that Three of Cups and the Three of Swords. That literally means separating from other people. Typically someone in your social circle, but in this case, I believe it's connected to confusion or some sort of overwhelming event that happened at work here. But the baseline here, just to be clear, is you have major talents. So it's like, it's not that you'll be, if you're moving on or you're unemployed or whatever, it's not like you'll be unemployed forever. Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's get 2 cards here to clarify the current situation. Can we get too many cards? Can we get 1 more card here? All right, 2 cards. All right, so you have the Page of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Five of Swords, and you also have the Temperance card in the current situation. So some of you are healing from whatever happened here with this Tower, Seven of Cups, Three of Cups, Three of Swords, Seven of Cups. Whatever happened there, and I think with another, and this definitely involves another person. You are looking to really recover from that situation, and I think you are pretty heavily here because of this Temperance card. Five of Swords is a loss. The thing about the Five of Swords that's really important is you can see here in the background, this person is down, but they're not out. Okay, they're waving their flag, they're down, but they are not out of the game when you get the Five of Swords. And especially with something like the Temperance card, which is a major energy of situations turning around, healing, all of that. Okay, you have it here showing up in the same row. You had something that happened up here, and you have it showing up here. So it's like you are maybe turning your. I think your situation is turning around, and I think that this, like, you have let me get my words together here. Whatever happened here in the past, I think that you were a victim. Okay, and you could have easily decided to say, you know what, like, I'm going to throw in the towel, but I don't think you've done that. In fact, I think you're getting a lot stronger as a result. I've talked about how you have this Page of Swords. I do think now that I looked at this, The clarifications are now suggesting that this is disappointing. I know I've flipped back and forth. I've been flip-flopping here on the Page of Swords, but that's why we clarify, right? That's why we clarify. And I do think something disappointing happened in the past. Now, I do think that the worst is behind you here, and I think that there are good times ahead for you. You have this Six of Pentacles, which is very important. I've recently read with the Six of Pentacles that I like to refresh my knowledge of the cards as much as possible. And one of the things I read about the Six of Pentacles is like the kindness of others is completely out of your control. But you are capable of being kind, right? And so you can't, in other words, not everybody is going to be at your level. Not everybody is going to be vibrating at your frequency, right? And you can't expect other people to be kind in a situation where you feel like they should be kind. Their kindness is out of your control. And the Six of Pentacles represents this idea of good karma. Okay, I think that you were able, or I think you had, there's a situation here in the past where you were a victim and you could have stayed in that energy, you could have stayed in that frequency, but you've decided not to. That's what I'm trying to say. You've decided to not stay in that frequency. Can we clarify the Six of Pentacles? Can we clarify the Six of Pentacles? Yeah, Page of Cups, perfect. This is good karma for you, okay? Again, karma is simply the accumulation of your actions. And the Page of Cups indicates a really, fun period of time, potentially, like a fun event or some happy news that comes into your life. This is not a love reading to me. If this is a love reading, whatever happened back here, rough, okay? Rough. I will say that much. But this feels like very much like a moving on from a career situation because of the way that your teammates were or the way that they acted or something like this. To clarify the Page of Swords, amazing. You have the World, which is major completions in life. It's a cycle closing out. It's kind of sitting at the top of the world and reflecting on the journey that you've taken up to this point. Eventually the world leads to a new beginning, but it's not there yet. The world is the completion of your current cycle. It is the completion of your current journey. So the new beginning hasn't happened, but it does say that there will be a new cycle that's coming in for you, right? So enjoy what you have now, because the world says that there's something nice here in the chaos, I think, for you. I think within the chaos here, there's something that's nice for you, is kind of the energy that I'm getting. Okay, and then I guess we will take all of these. So then to clarify these, you have a lot in the upper row, which the upper row is the row of your thoughts. So there's a lot going on in your mind here. I think that's fair, that's normal. You have the Five Swords twice, okay? So you have this Five Swords with the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is your colleagues, and you had the Three of Cups up here as well, okay? The thing is, this situation is getting you closer to what you actually want in life. The Nine of Cups is what you want, okay? Look, this person's completely full, satiated, content, happy in their situation. The Four of Pentacles, you may be concerned about like, how's this going to shake out for me financially? You can see this person's holding on to their money, which is like a normal thing, right? If you're going through a job change, that's like just like a totally normal thing. But to me, the card suggests that you're going to, like, there's nothing to worry about here. You're capable and you're smart enough and like practical enough to, deal with whatever changes are on the horizon for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is coming in here in the future for you. Can we get 3 cards? We get 3 cards for the future. Okay, so you have the Justice card, the World again. So we have the World card again. Can we get one more card? And the Eight of Wands. All right, so the Eight of Wands is definitely, to me, suggesting that there is, there's something really good here. showing up here for you in the future. Eight of Wands says there's good news on the way, good news arriving. The world is a major completion, as I've said. You have the world twice. You are definitely closing out a chapter with whatever happened here. You can be certain that this is happening for a reason. You can be certain that this is arriving for a reason. Whatever happened back here was supposed to happen. You can be certain that that is behind you, though, is what I feel. It's what I really feel like saying. Like, you can absolutely be 100% certain that that is behind you. You have this Justice card, which is karma, right? So we have these two energies of scales here with the Six of Pentacles and the Justice card. Both indicate karma, both indicate the importance of the actions that you take in life. You have really nice energy. As I said, the Eight of Wands, good news on the way, breakthroughs happening, you pushing through, I think, in a period of time when you could have just succumb to your situation. I think that you are making the most of it. Again, I need to stress here that the world is about certainty and also about rewards at the end of a cycle. And you can be certain that this happened for a reason. Okay, it might have been painful. I do think it was challenging. I do think it was painful, but this has happened for a reason. All right, clarifying the Justice card, you have the Four of Cups. You're really reflecting with the world and the Four of Cups in this column. I will also give you the warning to make sure that you are not missing out, because, don't stay in the reflection period too long, but definitely reflect on everything that happened and reflect on, what you don't want to happen, in the future, or the cycle that you don't want to repeat in the future, I should say. How do I say this? Reflect on the patterns that don't work for you, right? And that way you can create new patterns for the future, but don't stay in the reflection energy too long, because then you're not taking action. You have the Six of Pentacles, again, major karma here, major karma, and I think that's very good karma for you. Can we clarify the Eight of Wands? Hanged Man. Okay, so again, there's something about kindness here, which is, I think, the truth is that just some people are not going to be at your frequency in life, unfortunately. And, I would say that I think you have really good energetic karma here, in that you are just vibrating at a high frequency when other people are not. And who knows why, they're probably going through things in their life. We can't be concerned about what they're going through. But for you, I think that you have sort of like a gift from the universe, or some sort of reward here from the universe coming in here, because of what I think, just building on everything that you've done here in the past, the kindness of the past, the good energy you've put out there. You have on the bottom here, you have the Four of Wands, which is all about good foundations, potentially a new start as well in life. And you have the Six of Wands, which is really incredible. The Six of Wands is taking a victory lap in life. Can we get a few of these cards here? So you have Snake, Stag. Can we get, a few more of these here? Traitor, Peacekeeper, Arrow, Father Sky. Okay, so Snake, shed old skin. Stag, trust and thrive. Traitor, exchange energy to create abundance. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Arrow, surround yourself with a protective energy. And Father Sky, trust in the unknown. Definitely, I think some of you, this completion, this cycle that's been closing out, this is removing the toxic energy from you. I think you're getting surrounded here by better energy, by more protective energy, by people who actually, support you. And there is something about trusting as well, and trusting that whatever cycle is closing out is happening for a reason. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this type of reading, and I'll see you in the next video.